As the main donor for Ukraine in the drama of the Russian invasion since February 2022, the United States has indeed become an important actor in the war. Not half-hearted, Uncle Sam's country even poured out funds of up to $20 billion. That's why, in this war, it is possible that America's best defense equipment will meet Russia's best defense equipment on the battlefield. One of the most curious things is, of course, if the fifth-generation fighter jets from these two countries face each other directly. Russia with the Su-57 and America with the F-22 Raptor. Guess who will dominate the battle? Let's try to predict in this video based on the data we have summarized. In the context of developing fighter jets that will be the leading weapons on the battlefield, who would have thought that the Su-57 and F-22 Raptor were two fighter jets that were born with different purposes? The Su-57, which first appeared in public in 2010, was created to be a multi-role fighter jet, while the F-22, which was introduced in 1997, was made to be an air dominance fighter jet. Even though they have different goals, these two aircraft experienced dilemmas during development and production. The Su-57, which has been produced since 2019 and used in 2020, was actually ordered for hundreds of units by the Russian government, but ended up producing only 21 units due to budget problems. There were only 10 operational aircraft, and the other 11 were test aircraft. Then, the F-22 Raptor, which was produced in 1999, lost its way due to the fall of the Soviet Union, even though this sophisticated aircraft was made to win the Cold War. Apart from losing direction because the Soviet Union collapsed, this aircraft was also considered very expensive at its time. Therefore, in 2011, the production of this aircraft was then stopped, and only around 183 units were produced, even though it was estimated at 500 units. To then be traded, but despite the dilemma, no one could deny that the Su-57 and F-22 are aircraft with frightening capabilities on the battlefield. In meetings between fighter jets, there is one principle that is always adhered to, namely first strike, first shot, and first kill. This principle refers to how important stealth technology is because what is discovered first will be shot first and fall first. Therefore, the Su-57 and F-22 were developed with great stealth capabilities. In terms of design, the Su-57 utilizes a wing design that can move to reduce the radar cross-section that can reflect signals. Meanwhile, the F-22 has a triangular wing configuration design which aims to reduce engine detection on radar. The coating used by Su-57 and F-22 uses technology, RAM, or radar-absorbing material, which is capable of absorbing radar significantly. By design, the stealth capabilities of these two aircraft are relatively balanced, but everything changes when we consider the support of the engine capabilities and engine design used. The Su-57 uses an Izdeli-30, or AL-41F1 turbofan engine, which provides a maximum speed of Mach 1.7 or 2,130 km/h. The range is 5,500 km and the maximum altitude reaches 20,000 meters. The thrust vector design used by the Su-57 also supports extraordinary maneuverability. Because the two engines can be directed independently, that's why the Su-57 can move more freely. Meanwhile, for the F-22 fighter jet, the engine design used is a turbofan engine with a programmable thrust vector. The priority of this design is to reduce the heat footprint and also the sound produced by the Pratt & Whitney F119 PW100 engine. This design is also claimed to be able to confuse guided missiles into using heat detection. In terms of engine specs, the F-22 has more striking power by being able to push it to a greater speed, namely 2.25 Mach, or 2,778 km each. But unfortunately, even though it is fast, this machine has a lower range, namely 3,000 km. This is of course a big weakness, even though the maximum height that can be reached is the same, namely 20,000 meters. Apart from losing in terms of range, the thrust nozzle design used by the F-22 is also not a good support for maneuvering power because the thrust engine can only be directed to the same point and makes the F-22's maneuvers very stiff. From the explanation above, the American F-22 fighter jet is indeed stealthier than the Russian Su-57 fighter jet, but in terms of maneuverability and engine specs, the Su-57 is above the F-22 Raptor. In a real battle, the F-22 could win if the battle was fought one-on-one and relied on stealth technology. But unfortunately, the Su-57 doesn't move itself. It even has a war formation. When the Su-57 flies, this plane has a turning point that is not far from its place if it feels threatened by other fighter jets. He can turn around using his super engine towards an attack formation that has placed an anti-jet fighter system like the S-400. This way, the F-22 can die easily. The strength of the Su-57 and F-22 as fighter jets is, of course, not just in engine specs, maneuverability and stealth, but also in terms of the deadly weapons they carry. As intended, the Su-57 as a multi-role fighter jet is equipped with more types of weapons, and the F-22, which was developed for air dominance, has fewer types of weapons but has high attack effectiveness. From the data held regarding the weapons of these two fighter jets, the Su-57 is capable of firing air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, anti-ship missiles, anti-radiation missiles, guided bombs, and cluster bombs, while the F-22 is only capable of firing air-to-air missiles and air-to-ground missiles. It can be seen that the Su-57 masters more types of weapons, which makes the Su-57 more flexible to use. But that doesn't mean the F-22 doesn't have advantages. This fighter jet is capable of carrying up to 14 ammunition, while the Su-57 only has 12 ammunition in one flight. Apart from winning in mastery of the type of weapon, the Su-57 also wins in terms of the main radar specs used. The Su-57 uses the N036 Belka radar, which is capable of detecting enemies up to a distance of 400 km. Then what's even more amazing is that this radar is also equipped with modern infrared tracking to detect stealth jets. Meanwhile, the F-22 uses the AN/APG-77 radar, which has a distance of only 241 km. So it could be said that the Su-57 detection problem can detect the presence of the F-22 more quickly than vice versa. This condition allows the first attack to be launched by Su-57. If the one-shot, one-kill principle is applied, then the F-22 could be very overwhelmed. After discussing all aspects of the two aircraft, it can be said that the Su-57 is superior to the F-22 fighter jet. But if it is a matter of extraordinary combat where the entire unit is deployed, the Su-57 is certainly no match for the F-22, because how could 10 Su-57 fighter jets be able to defeat more than 180 units of F-22 Raptor fighter jets belonging to the United States? That's it for this video on Beyond Quest. Thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected with our content. See you in the next video. Goodbye.